Hey, everybody, and welcome back for a Wednesday, a hump day edition of your lunch break with me, Ivana. If you're new here, we bring you interviews every day and different topics ranging across the state. And today we have a really interesting conversation, that I'm looking forward to with Susanna Fritzberg. Is that correct, Susanna? And she is the executive director of Birmingham Strong, and she is here today to talk with us a little bit about Birmingham Strong and the programs that they have developed in response to the coronavirus pandemic. If you've been with me for a few months now, you remember in March when Birmingham Strong was founded and got going, that me and one of my colleagues talked about it, but we didn't have a whole lot of answers for a lot of your questions because it was really new. But now we've got Susanna, we've got more answers for you, and we've got a much bigger idea of what this program is and the way it's responded to the pandemic. So I'm going to let Susanna take it from here. If y'all have any questions, please let us know in the comments. I will ask Susanna and we'll get you an answer. So Susanna, thank you so much for joining us today. And first, just tell us a little bit about Birmingham Strong and the two programs that it offers. I know that's the Birmingham Strong Service Corps and the Emergency Small Business Loan Program.
First, thank you just so much for having me. The opportunity to share what we've been working on with you and all of your viewers is really exciting. And nothing that we've accomplished would be possible without the Birmingham and the greater Alabama community. So excited by the opportunity to share a little bit with you today and to address any questions that folks have. Birmingham Strong is a public-private partnership with a mission to fortify small businesses and empower local workers to meet community needs in the midst of the COVID-19 pandemic. We were founded as a response to COVID-19 by the city of Birmingham and some generous local supporters, especially at the Altek Steissinger Foundation and at Shipped. And we have a group of, at this point, I think over 50 local partners that have supported us in some way across the public, private, and civic sectors. As you mentioned, we have two main programs. We launched with an emergency small business loan fund that actually emerged before some of the Small Business Administration resources were made public. That was really a lifeline to local small business. We know that the vast majority of small business in Birmingham has a small cash buffer that, especially as we look to our minority-owned and women-owned small business, the capacity to outlast something like a pandemic, especially when the length is uncertain and we're all kind of living in a new world, was really unclear. And so we're pleased that we were part of a partnership led by the city and the Community Foundation and the Birmingham Business Alliance to support over 90 small businesses with loan capital. And then the other program that we launched about a month ago is the Birmingham Service Corps, which, as I mentioned, that's the other part of our mission to empower workers to meet community needs. Before the pandemic, we know that unemployment was disproportionately high for certain members of the Birmingham community. And right now, about 20% of people have experienced a rise in unemployment related to COVID-19 in our area. So we really saw kind of two problems. One, a group of people that were taken away from the opportunities that they had to make a difference and to earn an income. And second, a set of emerging needs that our local organizations didn't necessarily have the capacity to meet, whether that's standing up an emergency testing center or coping with increased demand for assistance during COVID. So we brought those two needs together to found the Birmingham Service Corps and made application available to residents across Birmingham. Anyone 18 years old and a Birmingham resident is eligible to apply at bhamstrong.com. And we're excited that we've been able to place over 300 individuals into paid volunteer opportunities really across the city. And those, as I mentioned, can range from setting up and staffing a testing center. Right now we have some core members that are providing traffic support at the Legion Field Testing Center, to processing applications for the PPP loans at our partner Hope Credit Union, to staffing public sites like the zoo as they work through their safe reopening procedures. So we're really thrilled by the participation rates in the program and the number of local organizations that we've been able to partner with.
Now, I think it's really interesting. You told me earlier that there had been over 800 people who applied for this Birmingham Strong Service Corps. Again, the Service Corps is something for Birmingham residents age 18 and older that have lost their job or been furloughed, et cetera, due to the coronavirus pandemic and need work. And now this work that essentially people apply and the program matches them with a opportunity, correct?
That's right.
And now these opportunities, I know that you have said they've kind of evolved and grown over time from when the Service Corps started and when the pandemic hit to now. The needs that we were facing in March, April are different than the needs we're facing now in June. And how have those opportunities changed for the people in the Service Corps? And have you added more opportunities, or have you had to take away some of those slots? Because you said over 800 applied, you've got about 300 paid workers now, which is a big number.
Yeah. So, I think what we've seen is when we very first started, needs changed every day. And often the needs that we were meeting were related to those really urgent public health necessities, things like setting up a medical clinic, or ensuring that local public school students had continued access to free and reduced lunch. And as we've seen the pandemic evolve, we're meeting kind of some median and longer term needs, mostly through our nonprofit partnership, where we actually staff Corps members to area nonprofits to support their work for a specific period of time. And anyone who's interested in learning more about that should go to our website at bhamstrong.com. If you're an area nonprofit that's working on COVID relief services that benefit Birmingham residents, we'd love to have a conversation with you about how we can support you. And one of the things we're excited about in that program is not only, supporting the work of organizations that really have deep roots here, and in a slightly different model than those kind of temporary emergency projects that we saw in our first phase, but also the opportunity to really invest in our Service Corps members and build a particular skill set over a longer term placement. So that's where we've had a lot of excitement and energy in moving since that initial pandemic phase, and obviously needs continue to evolve, and as we're partnering with the city and other institutions, sometimes there is a rapid thing to meet. But especially as we go forward, we're looking for those opportunities that are sustained, that are skill building, and really are focused on COVID recovery in our community.
How long do you anticipate these jobs that people have gotten through the Service Corps to last?
So it's really variable. Some of these are pretty quick opportunities, and we found that some of our members prefer to have, just a couple of days here and there or a week or so. Some of them are 8 or 12-week opportunities, and really that depends on the need of the partner, and it depends too on the availability of the individual that's taking the opportunity.
We've got a really interesting question here from Matthew, and I know that you are a Birmingham organization, Birmingham Strong, but this is a question from Matthew, and it's about how the pandemic is making its way through Alabama. Will your organization be thinking about putting maybe satellite organizations in different cities throughout the state, or have you talked with other cities throughout the state about forming anything similar to the Birmingham Strong Service Corps?
It's a great question. So I know Mayor Woodfin, who obviously has been such a leader in establishing this program, has had conversations with mayors across Alabama. And we've also been able to share the model with some of our partners at the State House, which we're excited about. We'd love to see this program replicated, and we want to be as supportive as possible of any area across the state, or frankly across the country, that's interested in adopting this. And I think we'll see the interest that other municipalities have in enacting similar programs. But this is really a new model of using service as a way to support communities in a time of crisis, and also of frankly drawing on some of our roots. If you look back to the Great Depression, the WPA, the CCC, some of those original service-based organizations that cropped up as a way to support workers and also benefit the community, we're really excited by the opportunity to build on that model, and we'd love to see it go across the state.
Got it. Now, another question, and it says, what sectors of the economy have been hit hardest in Birmingham that are seeking help? And I know that this kind of relates to that emergency small business loan program that you mentioned earlier. What did you see coming out of that program? What kind of businesses were seeking help? And did you see any trend with those businesses?
Yeah, so from an employment perspective, what we're seeing, and also from a financial perspective, we're seeing that our non-tradable sectors, particularly the service sector, is fairly hard hit. So especially in Birmingham, where we have a lot of retail and food service workers, those are industries that have been severely constrained by the virus and then the public health measures that have been necessary as a result. In the loan application program, there's a fairly high concentration of those kind of service-oriented small business providers, but it really runs the gamut. And on our Service Corps membership, we see people coming from a really diverse set of different professional backgrounds, whether that's Uber or Lyft drivers to food service workers, grant writers, people who've worked in journalism. So certainly a concentration in those kind of service-heavy areas. But I think what we're finding is, especially as the pandemic continues, this is having ripple effects to really all areas of the economy.
Got it. Now, when we talk about the Service Corps, and you talk about people from all walks of life and from all sectors coming in and seeking work through that. Now, there is something that I noticed on your website that talks about how this is providing resources to tackle those community needs, and it is especially helpful for people who are more at risk and who work hourly. So, can you talk about that and how that factors into choosing workers for these different opportunities?
Yeah. So we know that on average, people who have applied for membership in the Service Corps have experienced about a 54% decrease in their income before COVID started to now. So COVID-related release in income that's really significant. Very often that tends to be those hourly workers, particularly those workers that are in service, that have been working in food service and retail and some of the industries that it's hardest hit. As we make placements into jobs, that's really based on someone's qualifications and their availabilities. In order to join the Service Corps, we don't make that determination, based on how much your income has dropped or what level of economic precarity you're experiencing, because we know everyone's experiencing that a little bit differently. Our priority is very much on those individuals that, are experiencing unemployment or underemployment related to COVID-19. But as we're making those opportunities available, the people that we're seeing applying are getting matched based on, kind of their availability, their skill, and their interest in the opportunity.
Now, we've got a question or more of a comment, but I'm going to spin it into a question from Rod. And he's talking about small business owners that have been hit hard, not only by coronavirus closures and things like that, but also by violence that happened on May 31st in Birmingham and a lot of the downtown businesses, small businesses that were vandalized. Did Birmingham Strong have any part of that in that cleanup effort that happened the next day?
We were supportive of the cleanup effort. I think that was led by the city and a lot of volunteers, and we've been in close communication with the city about ways to kind of continue to support that community and the small business side of things.
What is next for Birmingham Strong? Because at this point, I think everybody is crossing their fingers and God willing that this pandemic does end and that there is an end in sight. What is next for Birmingham Strong? It was founded out of a pandemic. The two main branches of the organization are pandemic focused. So what does this turn into?
We really believe that based on the impact we've had so far, that service can be the bridge to the workforce of the future here in Birmingham. And we're excited by the opportunity to tailor some of the jobs that we make available to skill development for core members, particularly as that aligns with some emerging industries here in Birmingham around things like medical services, precision population health, community health work. So over the next several months, we anticipate being in really close coordination with the city of Birmingham, lots of our area partners, as we, seek to really position ourselves and our membership for access to those career pathways that are going to be more sustainable, particularly in a post-COVID economy, right? We know that our workers here are going to need new skills to be able to compete. No one has, perfect vision of the future, but luckily, I think Birmingham as a community, led by the mayor, has really done a lot to establish a cohesive vision of kind of a future economy, and we're excited to be part of that by making opportunities available for individuals to really acquire and hone new skill sets.
Well, and if you do have perfect vision of the future, call me, because I have a lot of questions for you. I got all kinds of things on my list to ask you. So putting that out there. But, even if and when rather this pandemic does start to wind down, there is still, or rather, are there still opportunities for these hourly positions for people to apply for? I know you said you matched over 300 people. Are you still matching people today? Let's see. I think, do we got you back, Susanna?
Yes, I think you were just asking if there would be continued opportunity.
Yes, exactly. Are there continued opportunities as of today? We're at the end of June. Hard to believe. Are there still opportunities to be made for people
folks after the pandemic? Is that right?
Right, exactly.
Yeah, absolutely. So we're adding new opportunities every day. And something else I'll mention that we're excited about is that we have a number of private partners that are also, advertising opportunities to our list. We're always excited when we're able to place one of our Service Corps members with a local business or a local organization. So we're making new opportunities available every day, and we don't anticipate that changing.
So how do people apply for this work?
You can go to bhamstrong.com. If you're a Birmingham resident and you're 18 years old or older, you're eligible to apply for membership to the Service Corps. There's a quick application on the website, and it shouldn't be hard to find. And then, we'll look at your application, we'll put you on the list, and you'll start to receive opportunities from us as quickly as you do that. So I encourage anyone from across the city who meets those criteria to apply for membership. If you're an area organization and you're looking for talent, I can assure you that we have some really, really stellar folks on our list, and would love to connect you to them. If you're a nonprofit looking for, a way to support your work, I also encourage you to look into our nonprofit partnership program. All of those details are available on bhamstrong.com.
Now, quick question. I know I appreciate all that information, and I just something I thought about while you were talking. If there is a person who, say, gets matched with an opportunity that maybe they don't feel comfortable in, maybe that is working at one of the testing sites or another opportunity, can they still stay on the list and opt for the next opportunity, or do you have to just take what you get?
No, absolutely. So first, I'll say that we're very focused on maintaining the safety of all of our members. And so, for example, the testing site staffing is done from a distance. Folks are on kind of traffic control, and we've been working very closely with the Jefferson County Health Department to ensure that we're observing proper social distancing protocols across our work sites. It's not a kind of use it or lose it opportunity. Essentially, there are a bunch of different options that people are aware of, and we encourage members to find the one that's the right fit for them, and we'll work with them to be able to do that.
Got it. Well, if you're interested in, if you're looking for work, you've lost your job due to the pandemic, and you're looking for an opportunity, feel free, if you are a Birmingham resident over the age of 18, to apply at birminghamstrong.com. And if you have any other questions, please let me know. I will get them to Susanna, and I'm sure she can point you in the right direction. So thank you so much, Susanna, for your time. And thank you all for watching, everybody. If you have questions for Birmingham Mayor Randall Woodfin, let me know. We will have the mayor on tomorrow at 11. So I will see y'all for that. And thank you so much for watching. We'll catch you tomorrow.